guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a first impression and tutorial of the new PatrickStarrr for MAC collection for spring. So a few months ago, MAC and PatrickStarrr collaborated on a collection, and they have actually come out with a whole second portion of the collection for springtime specifically. Here's the campaign shot for the collaboration. Very floral, very spring. As you can see, it features a very bright cobalt blue shadow, which clearly we'll be playing with today. I mean, hello. We got a little fucking smoky over here. Just a little bit. So there are two collections within one here. Basically, they are separated out into one called Miso FLEEK and one called Miso Chic. So the one that I have is the Miso FLEEK collection, which seems to have a little bit more of like a vibrant vibe going on, which is perfect because it's almost like MAC knew which one to send me. The Miso FLEEK collection includes a lipstick called Hey Boy Hey, which is a retro matte, Queen P lip gloss, which is a neon pink with blue pearl, an eyeshadow quad with 4 shades, one of which is this insanely deep and rich cobalt blue shade. Everything comes in this baby pink and floral pattern, very spring appropriate packaging. It's very cute, very girly, very femme. It seems to be the typical MAC components, just with a different color. So for example, like this would normally just be a black plastic, but everything else about it is the same quality packaging as you would be used to from MAC. It's just different colors and different labels. I tried to use a little bit of everything in this video so that we got like a really good, well-rounded picture of the collection. I think I wound up skipping one of the eyeshadows by accident, so sorry about that, but everything else we are using on this face right now. So if you'd like to see how the new MAC PatrickStarrr for spring collection performs, what I think of it, and how I did this really smoky cobalt blue look with it, just keep on watching. We're gonna get started right now. Okay, I'm gonna start with the Shadow Quad today. This is the Play With Me Eyeshadow Quad. The colors in here, this is In Living Pink, All Rosy, Hickie, and In the Shadows. So I'm gonna use my 217S brush and I am going to go into the color All's Rosy. I'm gonna start by placing that in my crease area. And on a clean blending brush, this is an Morphe M433. I'm just gonna use that to blend the edge out. Next, I'm going to pick up a little bit of this color In the Shadows. This is a bright cobalt blue. I don't know if you guys know this, but bright cobalt blue eyeshadow is having a moment right now, like a serious moment. I'm choosing a flat, wide-ish brush to pack that onto the lid. This is a Sigma E55. Okay, so this gave me a fucking lot of fallout. I knew that I was gonna get a bit of fallout because of the type of color and how I was applying it, so I didn't put any concealer underneath my eye, so it's okay. But just know, make sure you tap off your brush very, very thoroughly if you're using this blue, and also maybe don't do your concealer till after you're done. Also, it applied very well without any Fix Plus on the brush, but I think I'd like it better with some Fix Plus, so I'm going to go in with like a little second layer and just touch up and get a little bit more pigmentation in some spots. This is a frosty kind of shimmer finish, so I'm not surprised by that at all. Personally, I just always like the way it looks better when you add a little bit of something damp to the brush. Okay, I'm gonna go with the shade Hickie as my inner corner highlight. Not so much a highlight, I guess, but more like a pop of color. This time I'm packing it directly onto a pencil brush and wetting it immediately because I know that I'm gonna wanna do that anyway. So I did the other eye, and I also redid underneath my eyes. I didn't have concealer under there, but I did have a little foundation, so I just wiped everything off and just started from scratch. Personally, if I were to use this again, which I probably will because I really like this color, but I would definitely do my eyes completely first and then do foundation later. There's a bit of fallout with the blue for sure. So I'm going to do the outer portion of my waterline with Urban Decay Chaos and the inner portion of my waterline with Urban Decay Woodstock. On my Sigma E38 diffused crease brush, I'm going to pick up a little bit more of All's Rosy, and I'm going to start smoking out my lower lash line with that. Obviously, I'm gonna put some of the blue on there too, but I really think the blue needs this matte to blend out into, especially to connect it to the top. I'm gonna go back into the blue with the Thrive Cosmetics smudge brush and very carefully smudge that underneath my lower lash line and pray that there's not a lot of fallout, because there might be. And for the inner corner, I'm gonna go back into Hickie with that same pencil brush. Okay, so the eyes are finished. I popped on my Cocoa Lashes Venus lashes, the flavor of the month apparently. You guys know I go through my lash phases. These are the ones that I'm into right now. And I also popped on a little bit of highlight, so next we can go in with the blush from the collection. This is the Take Me Home Powder Blush Duo. The two shades in here are very pretty, but I think this one on the bottom might be a little bit too dark for me, so I am going to be using the one on the top. It doesn't appear that these two shades have two separate names. They're just part of the same duo. Dip into the lighter shade. That's pretty. That blush is actually really nice. It's totally like the kind of blush that's like right in my vein of blushes that I like. Personally, I kind of wish that this pan was all that color, but I do understand they were probably trying to make it more versatile for more people by putting two in here, so it makes sense. So next we have the lip products in the collection. This is the lipstick in Hey Boy Hey. It's a retro matte lipstick, which is one of my favorite formulas from MAC. And we have the Lipglass, which is called Queen Pea. I'm not sure if the nuance of this color shows up on camera, but it's really cool. It's like a neon pink sheer with like a blue pearlescence to it. So I'm gonna actually start by lining my lips with a pencil that's not in this collection. This is MAC's lip pencil in the color Half Red. I'm going to go over that with the lipstick and then I will put the gloss on top. And that's the finished look. Okay, so after doing that whole look with this collection, I have a few thoughts. The shadows seem more pigmented than your typical MAC shadows, which is good, but there come a few drawbacks with that. So the color All's Rosy, the matte one, it is super duper pigmented, especially for such like a muted matte shade, but it didn't give me any fallout at all, and it blended beautifully, and it was like honestly everything that you want in an eyeshadow. And I think it's a pretty unique tone for like the one matte that you're gonna put in a palette. To choose that, it pairs super perfectly with the blues. It's really obvious to me that they sat down and chose a color to blend this blue out with that would actually work, because it is difficult to blend out a shade like this, and it seems very clear that a lot of thought was put into pairing those two together. The blue itself is a little difficult to work with. However, cobalt blues, dark blues, bright blues, things like that, like deep, rich blues in general, as an eyeshadow are notoriously difficult to work with. So I would say on the grand scheme of things, this is actually on the easier side for a shade like this, especially with so much color payoff. But a couple of things to note, I did get a ton of fallout, so if I use this color again, I'm going to be doing eyes first, makeup second for sure. And I definitely had to go back in a few times and like pack color back into certain areas, because it sort of like lost its pigmentation or almost like settled into the crease a little bit as I was blending it, which is something that I've noticed with shades like this in general across the board. Just overall, it's just a very difficult shade to work with. It must be whatever pigment they use to make that type of a blue color. It's just a pain in the balls. But overall, for a blue shade, It's fantastic. I mean, honestly, the color payoff, the richness of this, I'm not sure how much the richness of the shade will translate on camera, but I walked into the bathroom a minute ago and looked at it and I was like, damn. So while jewel tone blues like this are difficult and I definitely don't reach for them often because of that, the next time I need to, I'm definitely gonna go for this one. So that can just kind of like put into perspective how I feel about it. I didn't wind up using the shade in Living Pink, but it is a pretty standard kind of like a blush tone pink shade. Nothing crazy, nothing outstanding. I swatched it on the back of my hand, and to be honest with you, it almost reminds me of like a eyeshadow version of NARS Orgasm. So it's beautiful and I'm sure I'll get use out of it. It just didn't find its way into this look today. The Take Me Home blush duo, it's beautiful, it applies beautifully. I actually really like the lighter shade on my skin tone, and I feel like the darker shade, since it is similar in undertone to the lighter one, probably will be really pretty on people with a deeper skin tone than me. But for me, I know from experience that using a darker shade like that, that's a little bit mauve-y, can look like a bruise. So for me, that one's a no, but the lighter shade is really pretty. The lipstick, Hey Boy Hey, is actually a really nice muted mauve shade, and MAC Retro Matte is my favorite of the MAC lipstick formulas, so I can see myself using this a lot. The Lipglass Queen P is like a really nice jelly pink finish. It definitely puts pinkness on the lip still. It's not one of those sheer colors that you put it on and it might as well be clear. And the shimmer that's in this color is like very, very like, I don't know how to explain it. It has a lot of depth and nuance to the way the shimmers kind of like dance in the light. It's super pretty. I definitely get a lot of use out of this again. Again, these are MAC formulas, so you can expect what you would expect from a MAC formula from these. I don't see any change in quality from the normal MAC formula that we all know and love. Personally, MAC lip products are some of my favorite lip products to this day, so for me, these are definitely a big hit. Overall, I would definitely say that this collection is, if you are a fan of Patrick, if you are a fan of the colors that you see here and you know you like MAC formulas, I definitely think that it's a thumbs up. If I had to pick one product that I would definitely purchase from this collection, I would say the Lipglass is probably my favorite, and the second pick would be the Eyeshadow Quad, because although I did have a difficult time getting this blue to sit nicely, it is the nicest of this type of blue that I do own. I think that we went over everything and we are done with today's video. Congratulations to Patrick again. He is just such a lovely, lovely, lovely person, and very, very happy for him with this collection. I think he did a great job. Also, if you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because I would really love to have you stick around. I think it'd be a good time. Yeah, it's just the buttons right down there. If you would like to keep in touch with me between videos, go ahead and follow me on other social media. I'm at Ms. Quinface on Instagram and Twitter. Twitter is a great way to get in touch with me if you ever want to talk about things, makeup, anything, life, you need advice, whatever you want. Just tweet me. And I post several times a week on Instagram. Usually I post high-def photos of the makeup that I do here on YouTube, but I also post some more interesting stuff like lip art and things like that. So go check me out over there, say hello, tell me that you came from YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.